In the quiet village of Lumina, where the mountains kissed the sky, lived a curious girl named Elara. Every night, she would climb to a rooftop and gaze at the stars, mapping constellations and whispering her dreams to the twinkling lights above. The villagers often shook their heads at her peculiar hobby, but Elara's grandfather, the wisest person she knew, had taught her that the stars held ancient secrets for those patient enough to listen. One clear autumn evening, as golden leaves danced across the cobblestone streets, Elara noticed something unusual. A star that hadn't been there before shimmered brighter than all the others, pulsing with a gentle blue light. She blinked, thinking her eyes were playing tricks, but the star remained, seeming to wink at her. "Grandfather," she called down through the window. "Come see." Grandfather Otto hobbled up to the rooftop, his weathered hands gripping his walking stick. When he looked up, his eyes widened. "The Wayfarer's star," he whispered. "It appears only once every 100 years. What does it mean?" Elara asked, her voice hushed with wonder. "Legend says it guides lost travelers home," he replied, "but it also brings gifts to those who dare to follow where it leads." The next morning, Elara couldn't stop thinking about the star. As she helped in her family's bakery, kneading dough with flour-covered hands, she kept glancing out the window, impatient for night to fall again. When darkness finally blanketed the village, Elara rushed to her lookout spot. The blue star shone even brighter now, and was it her imagination? It seemed to have moved closer to the mountains. Without hesitation, she packed a small bag with bread, cheese, a flask of water, and her grandfather's old brass compass. "I'll be back before sunrise," she promised her sleeping grandfather, leaving a note by his bedside. The night air was crisp and filled with the scent of pine as Elara followed the star's light. It led her through the sleeping village, past familiar houses and gardens, toward the ancient forest that bordered Lumina. The villagers rarely ventured there, telling stories of strange creatures and enchanted groves. With each step into the woods, the trees grew taller and more gnarled, their branches forming a canopy that nearly obscured the sky. Yet somehow, the blue light filtered through, casting an ethereal glow on the forest floor. Night creatures rustled in the underbrush, and distant hoots echoed through the darkness. "I'm not afraid," Elara whispered to herself, though her heart raced. She clutched her grandfather's compass, noticing with curiosity that its needle spun wildly instead of pointing north. Hours passed as she followed winding paths, climbed over moss-covered logs, and waded through a shallow stream. Just when her legs began to ache with fatigue, the forest opened into a perfect circular clearing. In its center stood an ancient stone well, its edges carved with symbols she didn't recognize. The blue star now hung directly overhead, illuminating the clearing as if it were dawn. Approaching the well, Elara peered over its edge. Instead of darkness or water, she saw what appeared to be another night sky constellations swirling far below, mirroring those above. She gasped, stepping back in surprise. "Not everyone has the courage to follow the Wayfarer's star," came a melodic voice that Elara whirled around to find a woman sitting on a fallen log. Or was she a woman? Her skin shimmered with the same blue light as the star, and her flowing silver hair moved as if underwater, despite the still night air. "Who are you?" Elara asked, surprised at the steadiness in her own voice. "I am the Keeper of Stars," the woman said with a smile that reminded Elara of her grandfather. "And you, little one, are a true stargazer." The woman explained that once a century, the Wayfarer's star appeared to guide someone with a pure heart and curious mind to this place between worlds. The well was a window to the cosmos, a place where dreams and reality intertwined. "What you seek is clarity," the woman said, "to understand your place in the vastness of existence." Elara nodded, somehow not surprised that this ethereal being knew her innermost thoughts. Since her parents had passed away years ago, she'd felt adrift, seeking answers in the stars. "Look into the well again," the keeper instructed, "and this time, drop this in." She handed Elara a small, smooth stone that glowed faintly from within. With trembling fingers, Elara held the stone over the well and let it fall. Instead of a splash, there was a cascade of light as the stone descended through the cosmos below. The stars in the well began to shift, forming images like moving paintings, scenes from her past, her present, and glimpses of what might be. She saw herself as a child with her parents and grandfather, learning to bake bread. She saw her current self, lonely yet resilient. Then future visions appeared. Elara teaching village children about the stars. Elara charting maps for sailors. Elara discovering a new comet. In each vision, her eyes shone with purpose and joy. "Your gift is not just seeing the stars," the keeper said gently, "but helping others see them too. You bridge worlds, earth and sky, past and future, knowledge and wonder. As the visions faded, the well's water became still again, reflecting only the night sky above. The keeper placed something in Elara's palm, a small crystal that captured the blue light of the wayfarer's star. For when you need guidance, she explained, it will remind you that even in darkness, you're never truly lost. Dawn was breaking when Elara emerged from the forest. The village was just stirring to life. Bakers lighting their ovens, farmers heading to their fields. Everything looked the same, yet Elara felt transformed. The crystal hung warm against her skin, beneath her shirt. When she reached home, Grandfather Otto was waiting with worry etched on his face, which melted into relief at her return. "You followed the star," he said. "Not a question but a statement." "I did," she replied, taking his hand. "And I learned that sometimes we find ourselves by helping others find their way." From that day forward, Elara continued stargazing, but she no longer kept her knowledge to herself. She taught the village children about constellations, helped travelers navigate by the night sky, and recorded her observations in journals that would one day guide future astronomers. And on clear nights, when a certain blue star twinkled just a bit brighter than the rest, she would smile and whisper, "Thank you for showing me the way home." If this story lit a little star in your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more journeys beyond the clouds and into the unknown.